Hey everyone, it's 10 types, and today I'm going to be looking at some new cards that have been revealed recently. I actually was not recording. That is an L, but now we are. So, yeah, Curse Duster pairs with a Poltergeist is Curse Duster is a tool that says when you're KO'd, you discard a random card from your opponent's hand, and Poltergeist discards two um, random cards from your opponent's hand, which is alright, but not that useful. Rourke here is draw two, recover basic energy from a discard into your hand. I feel like this is okay, but a little underpowered. Let's see, most of these aren't super interesting. This Durant's moderately interesting, though. Does 20 for each damage counter on all of your Durants, which means that you can like accelerate a bunch of energy to your Durants and then like damage them with like a stadium and then like do big damage, but it's pretty clunky, so probably not good. Let's see. Elekid. I like Elekid. It's a new one of the babies. It's free attack, obviously, and does a 30 snipe anyway, which is not too bad, certainly during like later points in the game. I don't know. It's not like great, but it's a card, and I feel like it could be worth running in some decks with the free retreat too. Norman is draw two, but if your opponent's active is an EX, draw four. I feel like this is a one of tech in Pidgeot decks, but because Pidgeot decks haven't been playing Faulkner, which is a decent card, it's draw I think four if there's a stadium in play. I feel like Norman isn't going to be played too much. Let's see. Most of these aren't too interesting. Light Bar here is, in my opinion, move all damage from one of your bench Pokemon to your opponent's active. And then there's also a really good Light Bar with the trade discard one, draw two. Cofagrigus EX is also really interesting. If this Pokemon is KO'd from attack from your opponent's Pokemon, search your deck for any one card and put it into your hand. And then which is a nice ability, not insane. You might just get pathed, but it's a decent option. But then you have Spooky Hands 110 for two Psychic, and then put 5 damage cards on your opponent's bench in any way you like. So this is very much like Dragapult VMAX, and I think it has potential to compete. Although I don't think it's a broken card by any means. If I'm skipping a card, I don't think it's really that interesting or worth talking about too much. Because it's pretty boring. Aegislash EX, though, is decently interesting. Peerless Edge, 70 for each prize card you've already taken into the second deck, 220 for 2 metal, 30 to itself. So two pretty solid attacks overall. And I think, yeah, this card could be worth running, but it's obviously stage 2, so it's a little awkward. Milotic is really interesting. Its ability says when you evolve it, you may have each player choose a basic from their own discard and put it onto their bench. This means it's kind of like Echoing Horn, but you don't choose, and then you also recover. It's not great, but it's interesting. Porygon Z. This is actually where I got up to when I messed up my recording, so I'm going a little faster, and then after this point, I'll probably slow down. Porygon Z says its ability Glitchy Turbo once in turn. For each Porygon, you may flip a coin if heads accelerate up to 4 basic energy from discard to this Pokemon. If tails discard an energy from this Pokemon, and your energy attack, does 40 damage for each energy attached to this Pokemon. This is a really funny card. It seems like really bad, but it's fun, so I'll probably try it out. Then Garganackle. I think we've seen this, but it's Garganackle, so we gotta talk about it. This is from Minecraft Donkey Kong, one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 9. Once your turn, you may attach a basic fighting from your discard to one of your Pokemon, and then heal 30. So that's decent. Vanillux, I don't remember if we've talked about, but your opponent's Pokemon that have 40 HP or less remaining cannot attack, which is pretty decent. It's weird, it's like Panic Mask, but it's interesting. Or Pico says if it has no energy, it's free retreat, which is decent, but its attack's not that good. Crobat, either supported locks or item locks, which is alright, but I feel like we've looked at it. And I don't think it's that useful, it's a little awkward. Tinkaton can hit. Oh, it's a little awkward. It's not that good. I was like reading it, and I was like, oh, this is all right, but then I was reading it more, and I'm like, it's not that good, unfortunately. Tatsugiri, I don't remember if we've looked at this one yet on the channel, but I feel like it's worth a second look. Survival strategy, 2 colorless, search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck, and then switch it. So it's hit and run control, as opposed to like hit and run attack. We see this before on I think it's Delibird. Is Delibird still in format? I think it is. Yeah, Delibird from Chilling Reign, which is like the same thing, except it shuffles this Delibird into your deck. It doesn't see any play, but I don't know. I might start cooking with Tatsugiri at some point. You could also play this in the Dondozo deck. So yeah, that's an option, and that's probably an okay option. Maybe the best Tatsugiri. And then Armrouge, we've looked at that one, I'm pretty sure. Elasapod, Mousehold, Altaria EX. Veluza, I don't know if we've looked at. If it's in the active and KO'd, you move 2 water energy from it to when you're benched. It's a basic Hydro Pump attack. Um, and yeah, it looks like we've looked at all these other cards before. Oh, okay, now we're into the other set, which it looks like we've seen mostly. Yeah, so what? There's a lot of cards. Yeah, so there are a lot of good cards in the set, but we've looked at most of them before. Let's look at some more now cards though. What, bro? It's not closing. There we go. So first of all, there's Shiny Treasure EX, which I think has one new card, Clive. Yeah, so your opponent reveals their hand, draw 2 for each supporter you find there. Wow, okay, that obviously can draw a lot. So there's that supporter lot Crobat. So they'll get a few supports in their hand, then you can Clive. I don't hate this. I don't love it, but I certainly don't hate it either. I think this is an interesting concept. Okay, we're gonna look at that Crobat again. Um, how much damage did that do? Is you can support a lock and then draw a bunch and have like just a very decent deck if it hits. I don't think it does that much though, unfortunately. Yeah, it does 50. Probably not enough. Let's see. I think these. Oh yeah, then these are just reprints, so that's fine. Um, okay, then we got a bunch of new cards. So we got this Tinkaton, uh, which is not very. Oh, 220 for 3 is decent, but there are better options out there. Garganackle EX though, we got Salt Body, immune to special conditions, which is fine. But then Block Hammer, 170 during your opponent's next turn, it takes 60 less. Oh, that's pretty underwhelming. I really like Garganackle, as I said, but that's not a great card. Then it's at Rhyfort. This card does the top 5 cards of your deck, discard any number of cards you find there, put the others back on top. That seems like bad, but it could be useful in certain scenarios and allows you to control your top deck, which could be useful again. It's your supporter though. It doesn't seem great, but I don't know. It's theoretically an option. Then we got this last card, Latios promo, to go against with Latios. If it has Psychic, it gets no retreat. And does 100. That's not great. So a bit of I guess I shouldn't be shocked these last few cards aren't great, but still, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider subscribing. I'll be covering these cards. I want to cook up some decks. I'll be covering those soon. But if you enjoyed, also like the video, comment down below your thoughts on the new cards, and any cards you want me to cover. And as always, I'm excited to see you next time. See ya.